Hi, I'm Captain Jack Sprengal. Came here to the Saltwater Edge today to talk to you about my survival raft lure, the Shimano Currentsniper Jig. What makes this jig what I consider a survival raft lure is that it's a multifaceted lure that you can fish in a number of different ways. Anything from high-speed retrieve and casting aggressively to fast-moving fish like pelagic inshore species, false albacores, bonitos, Spanish mackerel, to, because it's got a center-weighted profile, vertical jigging and even slow pitch jigging. This lure covers just about everything in the gamut, and you're just going to match your size profile to the bait that you have and also to the style of fishing in the current. You may have to go with a larger profile jig if you're going to fish this lure more vertically, and you may go with a smaller, lighter jig for a little bit more casting and burning across the surface. A few of the things you'll notice about the lure right away: it has nice large lifelike eyes, has a lifelike finish on it, throws a lot of flash. The same profile as some of the more popular lures you're going to see thrown into this kind of application. I like to compare it to some of the more popular jigs like epoxy jigs, thinner metals, classic lures like Castmasters. This lure is all of them in one. Because of the lines on this lure, because it's weighted further toward the rear, you can also do unique fishing styles like vertical jigging by taking the treble hook off the back and simply attaching contact points like assist hooks on it. And now, because you have most of the weight 2/3 through the jig, you're going to be able to fish this thing more aggressively, working the water tight in the water column like you would speed jigging or vertical jigging. You can also leave the assist hooks on or the treble hook on and just allow this jig to fall. And because it's center weighted, it's going to place itself horizontally in the water and shimmer and flutter on the way down. So having one of these on the boat reduces the need to put a lot of different tackle on the boat because you can give fish a lot of different looks on it. It comes in a multiple of different color patterns, from bright colors and natural terrestrial colors to spotted profiles, and even some of the more popular colors like pinks, blues, and silvers. You're going to be able to get a different range of size here at the edge. They've got everything from a 21-gram jig all the way up to a 60-gram. So again, you're going to be able to cast into lighter stuff up near the surface, burn it in quickly, cast into a standard retrieve like you would with some of the more popular spoons that are on the market, or you can stop when you're marking fish or you've got structure and vertical jig this lure, either slow pitch style because it's center weighted, or you can put an assist hook on the top and fish it more aggressively and rapidly, cover a tighter concentration of the water, and target more aggressive species. When connecting the Currentsniper jig, I tie directly using a Palomar knot. If you're using the smaller size and you're taking advantage of the loaded rear weight to cast and retrieve this as if it were a spoon or another type of soft jig for faster pelagics, just tie direct, go with the existing rigging system and give it a cast, retrieve it. You're going to be good to go as far as the actual technical rigging goes. If you want to consider vertical jigging with this, because it's a center weighted jig, maybe you're slow pitching, you can actually leave the treble hook on, and because this is center weighted, it will fall and flutter on its side horizontally, giving a lot of action. But you can also, because most of the weight is below 2/3 of this jig, fish this like a traditional vertical jig. You just modify the rigging system on it. The easiest way to do that is to remove the split ring and treble off the rear of the jig, like this, with a pair of split ring pliers.
Just sneak it.
And now you're going to connect a pair of assist hooks, which I'll demonstrate, so that you can fish just like a vertical jig, and I'll explain why you're going to rig it that way. First, you're going to need a split ring. You're going to open your split ring with a pair of split ring pliers, like so. And you're going to attach that to the jig. Once you have the split ring on the jig, you're going to attach a solid ring, which has 2 or 1, depending on your preference, assist hooks to it. It's important that when you do so, that the solid ring has the hooks facing down toward the actual jig. So you're going to open your split ring. You want to make sure that your hooks are in the correct position and attach.
That's right.
And now your assist hooks, if you attach them, you're going to tie directly to this solid ring here. when you tie directly to this solid ring, you don't want to tie to your split ring, because if you were jigging, you can get your knot to back off through the split ring. So always try to attach your jig via tying directly to a solid ring. All right. And you want to make sure that your assist hooks are generally between the top third of the jig itself, and you want them to be either wider or narrower than the jig. So when you do select hooks, make sure they're not going to be about the same width of the jig, because they can get hung up on it. And the reason the assist hooks hang down from the top is because while fishing this vertically, you're going to drop this jig to the bottom. It'll flutter on the way down, but you're going to give it a combination of either a lift and reel to give it a little kick and a flutter, or you're going to give it a one turn, one lift, one turn, one lift, one turn, one lift. And that's essentially going to let it walk the dog through the water column, throwing a lot of flash. The reason that the assist hooks, as opposed to being down here on the bottom, like you would for a normal retrieve this way, the fish comes from the back, takes the lure, that's when you hook them. On an assist hook, the fish are getting this bait moving through the water this way through the water column. So when the fish bites this, you want the fish to hit here, because they're not going to turn around and come up underneath as if they were attacking like a rocket straight up from the bottom. They're going to come from the side. They're going to whack this thing on the drop. So now the assist hooks are in the business area. So it's just another way that you can take the versatile lure like a Currentsniper Jig, and whether you want to cast it to fish or fish it vertically in the water column, just a little change on the rigging can give you a lot more options. It's a very versatile lure. They have them in all the sizes here and colors at the edge. Definitely swing by and check them out. And if you have any other questions about Currentsniper or any other slow pitch or vertical jigging techniques, feel free to drop a question in the bottom. We'd be happy to answer.